Welcome to today's video, where we'll explore how to set up Swagger with SwaggerDocument to pass through bearer token to endpoint. If you're developing RESTful APIs, chances are you've come across Swagger, a popular tool for documenting and testing API endpoints. Yeah, but have you ever wondered how to secure your API using bearer tokens while still utilizing Swagger's powerful features in this video? We'll dive into the step-by-step process of integrating Swagger with bearer token authentication, ensuring that your API is both secure. To start with, let's understand what SwaggerDocument is. SwaggerDocument is a class in the Swagger library that allows you to configure and customize your Swagger setup. When working with bearer token authentication, we need to ensure that our Swagger setup can handle this type of authentication seamlessly. The good news is that Swagger provides built-in support for bearer tokens. The first step in setting up Swagger with bearer token authentication is to create an instance of the SwaggerDocument class. This will serve as the central configuration hub for your Swagger setup. Next, you'll need to specify the API endpoint URLs and configure the bearer token authentication settings within the SwaggerDocument instance. Now, here's where things get interesting. To pass through the bearer token to the endpoints, we need to use the security property within the SwaggerDocument configuration. This is where we define our bearer token scheme, specifying that it's a token-based authentication mechanism. Think of this like adding an extra layer of security to your API. Just as you would add authentication headers to your API requests, we're essentially telling Swagger to include the bearer token in its requests to the endpoint. But how does Swagger know what value to use for the bearer token? That's where the security definitions property comes into play. This is where we define the actual token value that should be used for authentication. Now, let's consider an example scenario to solidify this concept. Suppose we have a RESTful API with two endpoints, users and orders. Both of these endpoints are secured using bearer token authentication. Well, when we configure our Swagger setup to include the bearer token in its requests, we're essentially telling Swagger to append the token value to the authorization header for each request made to these endpoints. So what should you take away from this video? Here are the essential points. To set up Swagger with bearer token authentication, create an instance of the SwaggerDocument class. Configure the API endpoint URLs and bearer token authentication settings within the SwaggerDocument instance. Use the security property to define your bearer token scheme. Define the actual token value using the security definitions property. And that's it for today's video. We've covered how to set up Swagger with SwaggerDocument to pass through bearer tokens to endpoint. By following these steps, you'll be able to secure your API while still leveraging Swagger's powerful features for testing and documentation purposes. We hope this video has been informative and helpful in setting up your Swagger configuration. If you have any questions or comments, please don't hesitate to leave them in the section below. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our channel for more content on API development, security, and best practices.